Man, it look like you on a private jet.
It's my background. It's my background, man. We live.
No
We
That was
live.
my patent. That was my.
Yeah, man.
Hold up.
That was my patent. That was my patented shot. One thing I could do was finger roll.
Man, we here, man. Profile podcast. We in the layup line right now.
Yeah, I'm a hold Sammy's spot until he get here.
All right, give me 30 seconds. Let me kiss my grandbaby goodnight.
Yo, the OG stepped away from the layup line real quick, man. But the OGTP is on here with us, man, discussing Killer Wings. Payne, thank you for stopping in and, you know what I mean, holding it down
doubt,
for a little bit. You did.
No doubt.
What's good with you though? How's everything, man? How your Sunday?
Chilling, man. Like I was just talking to TP before the show. You know, we play at the 45 and over. I'm giving my age away, but we play at the 45 and over on the Lakers. You know what I mean? So, and I'm starting to get my legs back. So we had a good team win today, and then had a tough loss up at the Tobin after that. But
Okay.
Other than that, Sunday's been all right.
Yeah, no, we had a 9 o'clock game. That's insane. We got a 9 o'clock game against the Lakers. Tough game. Came down to the end, man. We left a lot of points on the board as far as missed layups, you know what I mean, free throws. It was a lot of little things, you know what I'm saying, that kind of like, that did us in. And it's just one to grow on, you know what I mean? We started out the season with two solid wins, you know what I mean? So, this kind of brings us back even keel. You know what I mean? So we don't get too high. Got a big game next week against the Celtics, who are coming off their first win, man. So, should be a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. OGTP.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Yeah, I want to say like the way you guys are moving that league up is incredible. So like the parity, how close is it? Is it like two teams that you say, okay, they're about to run through it, or is there multiple teams that any given Sunday got a shot?
Oh, nah, I mean, definitely any given Sunday, in my opinion, like the last two drafts, this is my third year as coach of the Warriors, which was an expansion team. The talent that's come in through draft has really pushed the league like up. When you look, like you're talking about 50 something players showed up to be drafted, 30 something got drafted. There were like 20 something players that didn't even get drafted.
Yeah,
it's been like the past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the talent level is crazy. Teams top to bottom is any given Sunday outside of, and I would just say one of the expansion teams. You know what I mean? Because the other one that came in last year, they're like already, once they get all their guys, they're like right there in the mix.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I'd say one team out of 14, I think has a legitimate shot. You know what I mean? Like, so obviously injuries and all that stuff, but talent wise, every game is tough for sure. No question.
So that's what makes for a good run, good league.
Great, absolutely great league. I'm gonna bring Little on board.
Yeah, blowouts. It's hard to come by blowouts like that. You know what I mean?
What up, TP? My nigga.
Word, man.
My nigga. Listen. Yeah, that's my guy right there.
You know that we were just talking about the parity in the league, Little, like what it's been like the last few years, because TP was just saying how the league has changed up, dramatically, you know what I'm saying? And like I was just saying, with the two draft classes the past few years, I mean, we were just talking about that today, like the number one picks, you know what I mean? Like what they've been like, I mean, this one was a little tough this year, but I mean, like the prior ones, you can argue have like really changed the teams that they got drafted to, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what the number one pick is definitely supposed to do. So,
So
change culture.
Change the culture. Absolutely.
So since you're speaking about number one picks, do you think this year's number one pick should have been this year's number one pick?
I mean, that's subjective. You know what I mean? I'm not running that franchise, and I love the guy who was picked number one. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to aim the.
Listen, he put on a little show today this morning.
I heard. I missed it.
Did he?
Yeah.
I heard he did.
Wow.
Here's
Heard
a
he
question.
did.
Was he the best player in the draft?
Oh, now
I think the three of us would all say maybe no.
No, I'll say it. No, he wasn't. I don't think he
Right.
was. No.
So he was just best
And
suited
it's
for
so-
what that
and it's-
team needed.
Right. He was best suited for that. He was best.
I mean, that team needed a lot, so they could have went
No,
with what
they
they
did.
did, which was a big, or they could have went with a point guard, which is what a lot of us thought they were going to do.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? But you know, again, everybody constructs their teams differently. That's one thing I learned is that everybody drafts differently.
Yeah,
Watching across the board how everyone and how they identify pieces that feel as though fit their squad, you know, everybody does it differently. So, you know, but it's definitely a lot of talent in the league. No question. No question about it. Like, across the board. So
But talking about leagues, but see, so you retired?
Bro.
You retired for the 45?
No, I'm just sitting out. No, I'm just gonna have surgery on my shoulder. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was supposed to do it last year, but we was making a run. You know what I mean? We got
Yo.
to the chip too.
Yeah.
We played so bad we aggravated him into coming back early too.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, you remember that? Yeah,
Yeah,
I was trying to.
He was trying to coach, right, and take it
Mhm.
easy. He knew he had to get shoulder surgery. And
Yeah.
we was playing down the competition. We was like playing soft, and it, you know, when you're a competitor, you know what I mean. Like you can't take it. I look around. TP's not on the bench. He come out the locker room like Superman in the uniform,
Oh wow. Okay.
ready to go.
Let's
So and then
go,
that,
bro. Like,
from
Yeah.
that, but
Deal
from
with
that
everything
game,
else later.
From that game, we went on a run though. We went to we got all the way to the chip. We just lost.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, but see, that's important to have those kind of guys that are on your team that have the ability to infect the entire squad just with their energy and how they're gonna
Mhm.
come to play and get guys going. That type of stuff is contagious. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like and probably the best game of the day, in my opinion, which was the Bucks. And although me and Sammy, although Lakers and Warriors I thought was pretty good, the Bucks and the Heat game was really good.
Yeah, that
like
definitely.
really back and forth. It had like a playoff atmosphere type of vibe to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it came down, you know, to the end. You know what I mean? Really, really good game.
Yeah, it came down to some miscues at the end that kind of separated the game. I really thought the Bucks were going to win that game. Like they came out strong. They were running hard. Them boys, like the addition of Shane Coleman, and who else did they draft? And
Nate
Nate.
Smith from Lawrence. Yeah,
Yeah,
Nate's
they,
tough.
yeah.
Nate's
He balled out today. He was hitting threes. He was getting to the rack. He was posting. Nah, they gonna be all right. You know, they just got to gel a little bit. They got to learn each other. That's all it is.
Right, and they still didn't have
You know.
B shells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely a good one.
So as far as the Heat goes, are they you know, like, you know, when you win it and then when you
Yeah.
come back, half of the team understands the assignment, other team they still celebrating. So it takes a
You know-
little longer to get that machine on track again. Like, did the Heat start slow or are they clicking?
Well, you know, what are they? 1-1 right now?
Today they did, and you know what I mean? Like, hold up for 1 second. Let's just, you know, let's get this out the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
On Dead Dogs, the Grove Hall Show got it locked. The best sports show in New England, it's your first stop. See Coach Maine handle topics like he got the rock. Point guard, drop it off, help you find your spot. You know Payne got the streets on smash. Dropping jewels every time like J Kidd off the glass. And let's keep it real, everybody ain't for real. That's why we got Mr. Mirror Time here to seal the deal. Tune in.
Hey, we are back. Another episode of the Grove Hall podcast, man. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
Killer Wings edition. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
Killer
what
Wings edition.
was we saying before I dropped the intro? What were you talking about, Little?
That they was I the Heat, would they starting off slow or they coming back like we the champs? Y'all gonna have to take what we at.
You know that other fella that'll be on here later on.
Oh, both of them actually.
Mike, well, one more than the other. Mike McGee's in that form. He's always been a dog, and you know you heard him today. Like, yo, listen, we gonna get that.
Right.
You know that repeat. But you know, Mike, he's speaking out his ass because he ain't getting that repeat. Not with us around. But he's in that form right now.
If you
He's
don't
in that
feel
form.
that way, bro,
I think they both. I think Mike Jones
you have
is
to
too.
speak
Mike
it
Jones,
into existence.
Mike Jones is nagging a little bit of injuries, but he's still
Yeah.
out there competing every week. You know what I'm saying? So I say both
Yeah.
of them. Mike
Right.
McGee more just brings that energy again, kind of like I was just saying about like TP. He's got that energy where it's gonna be contagious to the rest of the team. And it was points in that game where his energy like led to turnovers, led to good plays. You know what I mean? Like got Monty going because Mac went into the
Yo, Mac went.
To remind
He went back
people,
a couple of
don't
decades.
get it like like I'm still UMass's all-time leading scorer. Like don't
forget about me.
Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? But Mike's energy
what
brought
I'm
that
talking
out of him, though. McGee's energy brought that out of Mac and everybody, and that's how
That's contagious. Yeah, I love the way he plays though. It's contagious.
Yeah,
And
You
like
need that
if
energy
you're
guy,
playing with
man.
that kind of person and it doesn't rub off, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say.
No, but
You need that energy person. Yeah, 30 said it. Emotional leader. He told us
Yeah.
today. Yeah,
You gotta love his heart. Like he's definitely the emotional leader. Like he get them going, man. And that's a way of him getting himself going. Also, you know that's just what it is. But nah, they were out there balling. That was definitely a great game today.
Yeah,
you know.
no
Yo,
question.
those three names that you just named, like, bro, that's tough.
That's a hell of a team, right? Yeah.
Yeah, when
those
you
are
think
just
about
names y'all threw out there. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're all
Mike.
they're all on the same team, which is
that's a lot of power. Like how did that happen?
Yeah.
just drafting, man. Just drafting. You know.
Let's bring the guy on, man. Speak of the devil, man. Speak of the devil.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on,
MJ.
The number one pick for a year ago, you know what I'm saying?
You know,
what's happening? What's happening?
What up, Miz? What's going on with you, man?
Man, just trying to cool down, deal with the kids, you know, family man. And then, you know, coming out there on Sundays, like extracurricular a little bit for me to get some cardio in. And sometimes get the family away from the house, but just getting ready to lock in for tomorrow, man. Got a long week ahead of work.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, it is.
Right
so here's a question right quick, man.
Go ahead.
There's not too many rookies that can say that they came in and in that year that team won the chip and I was a part of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I gotta bring that up. That's a short list, bro.
You definitely gotta bring it up.
That's that last year's draft. We called it like the 96, like of the NBA draft class. Like that's how
good it was.
It changed teams' dynamics. Like again, Mike won a championship in his first year. You know what I'm saying? Like
I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty dope. And to be honest, looking at the draft, like throughout the whole little, you know, the pre-draft situation we was hooping, is looking at everybody like, damn, there's so many hoopers out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I didn't even know much about who was already in the league, period. Right. So once the first game started and you kind of get an idea of who's with what team, then you kind of know like this is a solid league. So for me, coming in last year, my first year, it was a pretty solid league, man. It just our team alone, right? If you think about the pieces we got, we're not a young team, we're not a fast team, but we're a smart team, man. We got some dudes who understand the game, and I feel like has a high level IQ, understand like, okay, if you get your shot off now, don't look at me yelling at you because you missed a shot. Go ahead and shoot it again until you make it. But we find ways to make it work, and I think last year we found ways to make it work for us.
No,
Bro,
definitely.
y'all IQ
Beautiful
as a
thing.
team is insane. Starting with your veteran point guard Frankie Patton.
Absolutely.
Who knows the game in that gym? We probably all combined don't have as much IQ. Let me not insult guys, but Frankie Patton's basketball IQ is crazy. Then you got Monty Mack, like we were just speaking about earlier, and Mike McGee. Like, even though Mike McGee's a hothead, like, he plays with all heart. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly.
He does have the IQ.
And the crazy thing about what a lot of people misunderstand about Mike is that he brings, for us, no bullshit, he's our energy guy. That's like our guy, holder, our choo-choo to get us going. And a lot of people don't realize that and you're in the midst of being competitive, you're going to get that out of Mike, the best of his competition, whether it's verbally, whether it's physically, being in your face. And afterwards, you're going to sit back and chop it up, right? But I think a lot of people misunderstand his energy and how he brings it, and they take it personal rather than being competitive, in that competitive mindset. Look, we competing. I'm not on your team right now, so you got to take everything that I got coming to you, whether it's me talking shit to you, whether it's me putting buckets up, whether it's me getting some steals. Take all of it, and then at the end of the day, just know that it's just a part of the game, man. That's how it is. That's how it's always been since we've been kids. You know what I mean? It's just now that we're older, I think a lot of people are taking a little bit more personal this side of it, but it's the same competition, man. Nothing has changed, right? Just some dudes got older and some dudes got a little more mature. Their IQ level got a little better. The game got a little tighter. And, looking around, some people's game may have stayed the same. There's no knock on them, but, in the midst of this game, it's about progress, man. Any form of fashion.
Word up. It's funny. I want to stay there for a second real quick, Mike. So you and Mike McGee, like, competed against each other a lot in high school, right? So, like, let's just talk about that for a second. In those younger days, like, what was that matchup and that competition like? And then TP, I want to ask you, like, who was your like big rival, like, at your time that you like? Like, I match up with this guy. I know it's war. You know what I mean? Mike, you first.
Well, back then, man, before even Mike McGee or before I heard about Mike, I was just going around with my pops, who was a coach at the time. And, Jamal Dixon, my brother Gerard. So we was all going around the different parks, group of Brown Fields Corner. That was our stomping grounds, Reebok. Right? So we're going around the different parks, man. And then I can't think of the name of the park we're at, bro. It's the first time I actually ran into Mike McGee. He wasn't playing, but somebody went and told him that I was down at his park, killing him. So he come down and I see this tall black dude. I'm like, all right. And that was my first time actually visually seeing him. Didn't play against him yet. Then the next time we have a little get together at Phil's Corner, Reebok court, and I think it's the Owl Ski League or something. This when he come up with it with the squad, man. And ever since that day, there's been this Mike McGee, Mike Sawyer, back then my name, this rivalry. It was always intense, man. Always intense. They don't even have to be around each other. And once we think about each other's name, we're like, oh yeah, I can't wait till we get each other on the court again. Because that, it's funny you say that too, because we talked about this when we first played with each other on the court. It's like, if you understood, like, back in the day how competitive it was, how serious the hoop was back then. If me and McGee ever stepped on the floor together as a teammate back in the day, bro, we would have tore the city apart. Right. But I think what it boiled down to was that, competing with somebody like that made me better, right? Because
We brought the
I
best
know
out
what
of
he
you.
can bring. There's talk about him in the city, and now it's just mainly about me kind of showing. Exactly.
Right. Even before I get into it, like,
the
to piggyback off of that, when he said that, imagine if they was on teams.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I have an issue. One issue I have with our city is we have 20 high schools in a 6-mile radius. You know what I mean? So, like, you're at this school, you're at this school, and we go to school, we walk each other to school. But now when it's time to compete, we can never really get over the national level because everybody's separated. It's one or two pieces here. I've never seen where they had a team where maybe it's like a West Boston, North Boston, 2 teams, like how Brockton is.
Yeah, where there's only
let's see
two
what
schools out in
see what
Brockton. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that really get on everybody.
No,
Yeah.
no, definitely. Yeah.
When I was at school, like our rival was Eastie. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
they was Chris Green, Crook. You know what I mean? They was always loaded. The Burt, they was always loaded. But what I found different was like our coach had it set up to where we was playing some elite prep schools, and we goofing like, oh yeah, we gonna bust these white boys up.
Yeah,
man, they came out like Princeton, five slammer jammer Princeton though.
with all the fundamentals.
Yeah. And then, that's when you got to understand, like, yo, this game is different.
Right.
You know what I mean? You play with your partners all the time, and with us, we're in the hood, everything's got to be nice.
Yeah.
Now, I seen these dudes. It looked like 4 dudes from Mayberry. There was nothing we could do, and we was way more athletic than them. Pick and roll. They didn't miss anything. You know what I mean? They put in the work.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what it like. When you want to become a little different, you have to put in the work.
Right.
You know what I mean? My pop said, the average person does nothing. So if I did 5 push-ups a day, that'd put me above average. So you add on to that. And I was little, so I always had a complex. So if I'm going in and then, everybody's talking about Mike's the man, I'm going to lock in on Mike. You know what I mean? We going to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then if he do his job, he's going to get my respect. And I'm going to let him know I like what you do. You know what I mean? How can we, how can I get some, what you have? Share some of that.
Word.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be, TP, too, man. And nowadays, it's not like that now. I mean, you got too many motherfuckers that just, instead of using that energy you just said, they use it a different way. Now it's like more hate, more putting in a negative sense, instead of taking little bits and pieces from the next man. Yeah, okay, he killed you. But just chop it up with him. Like, look, man, I like that move you did, bro. How'd you do that? You feel what I'm saying? Make it again. It's supposed to be competitive within the lines, but outside of that, it's a brotherhood, man. If we can't treat that as a brotherhood, then what else do we got? You know what I'm saying?
TP, I want to ask you though, who was one of your biggest rivalries that you matched up with? That it was like, yo, like you looked forward to when you matched up with this guy, kind of like how Mike Jones and Mike McGee, like when they matched up against each other, was like a big thing at the time. Who was the guy for you?
This shit was spread it out. Like I had a couple good ones with Brian Edwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
When the Burke had Jeff Watson and D Holiday, they was loaded. Like that's what got it for me, because we was way outmatched. You know what I mean? You just got to have it in you to say, all right, I'm gonna take these 3 out the equation. Yeah. And I was like, man, I need you to give me this, and we can get it. Right. You know what I mean? But a lot of one-on-ones, like I banged against Hyde Park. They was nice, but it wasn't like one. Because for me, I was a defensive player that just could get buckets. Like I enjoyed defense. You know what I mean? Offense was icing on the cake. So like I really didn't have any. Like this, oh man, I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
It's just like you see who's on the radar, and you like, okay, yeah, I got him in 2 weeks. So your workout changes. You know what I mean? It intensifies more. So if I was doing 10, okay, I got Mike in 2 weeks. All right, now I'm going up to 15. So
and I like how you just said that,
him, man. Like I'm so fucking.
Yeah, and I like how you just said that, you was already looking forward to the next opponent who you matched up with. That's how we grew up. Nowadays, these kids are not that same way. It's just, okay, we got a game today. They're not going down the line, okay, we got, Savio Prep or whatever. Okay, oh, okay, we got B. Edwards over here. Okay, I know his moves. I got to learn his moves and stuff like that. They're not invested in that no more. Now it's just, okay, we got a game against them. We're just going to go out and play. We actually had to learn the game. We had to learn our opponents, their moves, their counter moves and stuff of that nature. Like it's a lot different now.
Exactly.
It is. Well, I to be honest, man, I don't feel there's a lot of true students of the game anymore, man. Like that's part of being a real student of the game. You study the game, not just your game, but you study your opponent. Like you said,
exactly.
Weaknesses.
Right.
And how can you elevate or have some type of edge? Because let's just say y'all like this, right?
Yep.
What's gonna put you just right here? You ain't gotta be up here. What's gonna put you right here over your next opponent if y'all got the same skills? You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I don't think that these kids right now, like you said, are looking at that, looking at, okay, it's my next game against B. Edwards. I'm gonna see what he's gonna do. And because B. Edwards got a highlight tape, they're too busy oohs and ahs rather than locking in mentally, like, okay, I got to stop these oohs and ahs.
So I'll give a little bit of it's not too many, but if I could say in the younger generation, one matchup that I see, like when they match up with each other on the court is tough, is Hugh Coleman's son Jalen. Well, they're not in the city no more, but Hugh Coleman's son Jalen and Rogers' son Jaden.
Yes.
When those two match up on the floor, you can see like it's a
look who they popped on.
Right, exactly. Look who
right. Yeah.
Look at the support system.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
if you got the right support system,
that's
not the average
inherited.
Ones. They're not the average ones, but
that's inherited.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Those dudes got it, man, because they got the right support system and they understand what it takes to be a competitor. You know what I'm saying? They understand that, and it don't matter their size. They're going to make sure that their game matches up with whatever's out there for them, and they just got to be put in a situation to thrive, man. Those dudes are solid, bro. I give it up to them for sure.
So
before, fellas, I got to get ready to jump, right? But
okay.
When Little asked me to stay on for him real quick, I did kind of want to be on because being a wing, I was always a big man in high school because I could jump, but I transformed my game into a wing. So one of the weakest points of my game was my jumper, you know what I mean, and going right, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to know from TP and Mike, what part of your game was weak that you turned into a strength?
Actually, with me, I played left-handed, so they can say force him right. So all of my off time, everything was with the left to the mid range, and then like I worked on the mid range. So and that was size wise, because I know speed kills. So if I get you on my hip, I'm gonna get to my sweet spot, and when I go to stop and raise up, you're still coming. You know what I mean? Like that, the mid range. Okay. I mean, that's specialized on that. Because that's a lot. They don't even use that in the game today.
Nope. Nah, the mid range is a lost art in today's game. All they think about is the dunk and the three.
Yep. That's it, man. That's it.
Ever since, like I can say, like one of my idols was Smooth, Greg Simpson. Like I'm flooding to watch his games.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you that too. Like I was gonna ask both of you guys that. Payne, I know you got to jump, bro. We don't want to keep you, man.
You rock out.
Mine was. I want to say just like CP was saying, and but the opposite way. Mine was my left hand, bro. I ain't having no left hand at all to save my life. I worked on it. It wasn't until I got to college I understood how serious it was. So I challenged myself in the game. So Pete did in the layup line. We're playing some school, and I did everything with my left. The scouting report say I'm right-handed, but everything I do with my left. So now they're forcing me to my right hand. By halftime, I had to switch up the whole game plan.
Sometimes you gotta play some mind games with people. Sometimes you gotta play some mind games. Wait a minute, I didn't know he couldn't. He goes to the left. He doing everything the left line with the left. All right. I see what I gotta do.
Yep. I kind of made it so that way I can. And don't get me wrong, I didn't perfect it. I don't think I can ever perfect anything. You can make it better, your craft better, perfect. But I made it to a point where it was very understanding that he's left-handed, but he's right-handed. But no, he's left-handed. So
Right.
it's very confusing. And again, those type of things, you have to play mind games, man. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just
And
play.
be comfortable.
Play. Exactly.
And you have to be comfortable in that.
Exactly.
You know, I was telling Kamani early, when you playing the game, it's more than just putting it in the hoop. You got to understand it. Say, if like, this is my team, this unit right here, I'm gonna know everybody's strength and I'm gonna know everybody's weakness.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because that's a team thing.
Yep.
Now, I know man don't need to take a shot, like a dribble, and that bitch hit his hand. He's good. Oh, I'm gonna make sure he eat.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also know he ain't good going right on defense. So if somebody's trying to go on his right, I'm coming from the back to make sure they don't get there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just understanding the game, which shit in turn makes it easy.
It does, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
guys.
All right, fellas, I gotta jump. TP,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
see you Sunday. I'll
No
see
doubt.
you Sunday, Mike.
Already.
Wayne and Sammy, I'll see y'all Tuesday.
You already know, bro. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll see you Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, bro.
Good
Appreciate
win
you.
today, man.
Oh, shoot.
Good win. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Little, what you got?
Well, you know, I think I kind of want to ask them about the state of basketball today. You know, we were speaking a while back to McGeezy, and he was just tournament wise, basically, and he was just, you know, we were talking about, you know, the city needs to kind of, you know, rock with the city instead of having all these guys flying in and out. But then Mike made a great point to me when he said, you know, a lot of guys in the city are just lazy. They don't work on their game. And that's why they fly a lot of these guys out for these tournaments and stuff like that. You know, and so, you know, how do you guys feel about, you know, the state of our guys and what we can do to kind of get these kids to kind of be like we were growing up, trying to, you know, work on the game and just that way we don't have to keep flying these imports in and out, and we can keep all the money in house.
Facts.
Right.
I
I say
think
that.
Go ahead, TP.
But like, with it's got to be something that's consistent. Like, see, like right now, how like we have our winter leagues. Like, you guys doing a great job on that, but it's got to be more consistent from before they even get there. Like somewhere safe, somewhere where you know all the ballers are gonna be, not just half, because half can't come because of where they from.
Yeah.
So like that messes up a lot of things too. Because when I was young, I can go to any project I want. I had a pass. I was a baller, so I could go to any projects I want, and you know, play against the toughest of the tough. You know, without getting
Any
involved.
issues? Yeah.
Even if they had an issue with where I'm from, like they know he's not a part of that shit.
Yeah.
But now it's not like that. You live around there, we don't care. You just dropped 40 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you notice, if you ride by a park now, it can be 85 degrees out. You're not gonna see one game.
Yeah.
You might see a few kids, you know, that play soccer, you know, playing on the court, but there's no games going around in our city. And they're beautifying the courts, though. You know, man, back in the day, man, there was nowhere to park when we was at the park trying to get it.
Right. And absolutely, they just had something this past weekend, I know, at Washington Park, with they redid some parts of the court over, because I just saw it because Mr. Wilson was there. I saw it. Yeah,
three courts. They did it's a beautiful mural in the middle. It's of a female and a male. They're having a jump ball and they're meeting in the middle. You know, that's a beautiful thing. And then the top court, it has the X in the middle, you know, Malcolm X.
Right.
And then Roxbury on the sideline with the, you know, they just telling the story.
Okay.
You know, and it looks way better than it did.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, they're not filled up like they used to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean? like the summer. I mean, like I watched BNBL a few years ago, man. That was heartbreaking. You know what I mean? And I thought I was watching 11 under, but it was actually 18 and under, 19 and under. I was at the league school, man. I'm like, whoa, we in trouble.
Well, you know, AAU tore that up. AAU took out, you know, BNBL. Yeah, it definitely killed BNBL here. You know, now it's only maybe 2 or 3 strong teams playing BL every year for the championship. You know,
Same squads, right?
Yep.
same squad, man.
Same people.
Same squad.
Yeah.
You know, it kills me. It kills me because you know, I grew up, you know, in the South End. So, you know, my best friends, Mike Edwards, Troy, you know, even Kari Rulick, all them guys used to come on down and play. Like,
Right.
but the thing about those guys is they didn't care if they played on the same team. They you know, whatever team they were on, they were the man, and they went out and they destroyed. Nowadays, these kids, it's a little bit different. Now everybody want to gang up to be on one team. You know,
Yeah, that'd be matched
that's
up with
crazy.
such and such.
it's
Yeah, I don't like
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that either. You know what I'm saying? Seeing the guys, you know, afraid to compete against each other. So, you know, again, like I said, that's why I like to see, you know, Jalen and Jaden, like, and even in the summertime, like I've saw them, like when they play on their different teams outside of their high school teams, they're usually on separate squads against each other to be matched up against each other. They're like the feature matchup you want to see amongst the young boys right now. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, again, some of them are not competing as much as they should. Some kind of are. You know what I mean? I don't know what we can do to get it back to that, where it's like, you know, you don't ride by a court and see it empty. You know what I'm saying? Where you see some kids out there working on their game, but they got a lot of distractions too, though. You know, to their point,
Mhm.
got a lot of things like
A lot.
yeah, got a lot of
Nowadays.
a lot of distractions.
Nowadays.
Too, man.
But they just, I just don't, like he said,
At one
though,
point,
you can't play with a player. You have to be loaded. And I don't know, like the one team, like I probably say the toughest team I ever been on, right? Like it's Trent Forbes, Mark Rennan, Lloyd Marford. Then you got Big Blake from Academies, Jaquil, Teron. Like, bro, when I say we're winning by 30 by halftime, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything out of it.
You're not getting no better.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather play against them than with them. You know what I mean? You might take an L, but I feel like I got better though. They understood. They understood it. But that's gone though. Like everybody wants to be with, you know, that dude or the 2 dudes on that team, not want to go against them. You know, I call it the Boston effect. How they ran Braun up out of here.
Who they run up out of here?
Sent him straight to Miami. LeBron.
Is that what you? Is that what you think it was?
Like he couldn't win.
That's where you feel like it started.
He said, "I can't beat the Celtics." That's this. Like the more they see it, check it out. They see it on TV, bro. That's what it is. I'm taking my shit to my town to South Beach. Now you got rings.
Easier road.
Now, now everybody's building these squads.
But TP,
now you're right.
Everybody's
let me ask you this though. Did you play when you played AAU, right? With guys, so is there a thing of where AAU matters? Because usually, like some guys play AAU together, and it's usually like some of the best. So is there a difference in that because it's AAU versus like
the only difference was it wasn't treated like monetarily like it was. Like I mean, 12 to 13, like we're in Canada, we're in Tennessee, we're in Kentucky. You know, we playing for chips.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a money thing, you know what I mean? You had to have good grades even to be on the traveling team. Like, you know what I mean? You make the traveling squad, you win. And then like you go and then and these kids are coming from all over the country, different places. And like just never be afraid to play. Well, you know, we got guys here that can play their ass off. But if they get foot on soil in another community outside our hood, it changes.
Oh, you good. Give me some of the big names you played against in AAU, TP. At that time, if you
I
can
don't know who
recall.
was like that
Yeah.
was on my team. We had Nate Rivers was on our squad, Calvin Jones, Dwayne Molyneux, Steve Nichols, shit, Mike Bibb.
Hey,
I'm trying to see like big man. You know, before Juice, before when he was Juice at Westy, James,
Yeah.
tough. Another wing that didn't get his just due was Jesse Martin.
Jesse Martin.
Jesse Martin was a
Light
problem
skin,
child.
light skin,
He
curly
was
hair.
Maryland.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I heard. I didn't really get to see him, but yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, powers that be. I don't know what happened, but he just put the ball away, man. Like something happened at school. He just washed his hands, but definitely was league material.
Yeah. You know, life be life, and sometimes, man.
Who's the best wing player that you played with? TP or Mike, either one. You want to answer? Who's the best? The best wing player that you ever played with?
Mine's hands down was LeBron, bro.
I was just about to say that.
I mean, if you want to talk about the other guys, Chris Paul and all these other dudes, out of all of them,
that's an easy.
This
that's
man
an easy one.
Something that he was 6'6" at the time and moving the way he was, bro.
Yeah,
crazy.
I know you got to see him up close and personal.
Couldn't do nothing unexpected, man. He like all the attention. It was made for him at that time, and you guys see it now, right? Man. You see who he is now.
Yeah.
Right. What was that, Mike? Was that the McDonald's game?
McDonald's. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Who else was over there? Was it Cook was over there also?
Nah, that was the year before. That was maybe 2 years before. He was in the same one with Carmelo.
Yeah.
Carmelo.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So the kid Cook was in the year before.
Yep.
The kid Cook, they were saying that was supposed to be better than Bron.
Until he got up with Bron and he seen Bron was like, oh,
the year before Bron.
Yeah, it was either the year before or the 2 years before, but yeah.
Right.
He was before Lenny Cook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the name.
Yeah. He was tough, man. He was definitely tough, but I mean, dude, and not to just like put it look, there was a lot of guards, a lot of wings that was tough that I played with. You feel what I mean? Like not just one that was trash. There was a lot of tough wings, but LeBron is LeBron, man. Ain't not much else to say about that.
Yeah, no question. Right. No question. Did you play with was it DJ Strawberry? Did you play with him?
Did. Yep.
DJ Strawberry.
Yeah.
He was
tough.
All 4 years at Maryland.
I like DJ Strawberry,
Yeah, he was tough, man. His energy that he brought on, especially on defense, bro, was something else.
Yep. How big was he? How big was he?
He was a little shorter than me, so I would say about 6'5". He was about 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". So we were somewhat the same height, but he was a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But very aggressive. He was a slasher, a strong slasher to the hole. But a lot of it was his aggression on defense, man. He'll get up in you.
Right. That's the game changer, bro.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Get up on you, slap the floor. We ready to go.
Oh, yeah, man. We had a nice little squad. We were young, too, back then, bro. It's just, you know.
Yeah,
who was our point guard that year?
John Gilchrist. John and Andre Collins. When I tell you that, man, so Andre in practice, bro, they're going at it, him and John, just as far as hoop-wise. So coach can't really decide who to play more, but John played more, obviously, because he was taller. And I think, for me, I just think coach has something against Dre. So Dre ended up leaving to go Loyola, Maryland. The next year, our assistant coach Jimmy Patos left with he had a head coach job position next year. Dre leaves and become the second leading scorer in the nation that year.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm looking at the stats like,
Yo.
Yeah, he out here busting ass, and we had him.
Yo.
he was doing that in
Did
practice.
your coach
but I
ever
was
comment
like,
on it?
huh?
Did your coach ever comment like, damn, I
think
fucked
so.
that one up?
Well, he probably did to himself and to his friends, but definitely not to us. He wouldn't say anything to us.
Right.
No, man. It was a sight to see though, but I was happy for him though, obviously, because I think, just in my eyes, I think he should have played more. It's nothing over John. JG was a dog. Like he was an animal. But Dre was a different kind of animal. He was crafty. He was smooth with his game. He brought a different type of PG style to our team. John was like I'm gonna run through you. I'm gonna get to the hole. Ain't nothing you can do.
Right.
But Andre was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of this, give you this, and I'm gonna go by you. You know what I'm saying? So he was bringing a different element to the game that I don't know if Coach was rocking with. And he had to leave, man. And once he left, it was evident that he was doing what he needed to do at Maryland. He just needed to be unleashed, man.
Mm-hmm. That was a good move for him.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah, there's so many things, man, we could talk about with that, bro. But well, look, we on the podcast talking about it, right? So
That's an experience you had, though.
Even so that year that summer when I had a conversation with Jimmy Pasos, the summer of my freshman year as he was making his transition, he didn't verbally tell me, right, that I should rock with him. However, I kind of got that hint, but I wasn't sure. Being young, you don't really know what's going on, man. So I rocked out that whole summer, sophomore season. Mind you, my freshman year was already shaky, right? Wasn't playing much. Was told this, things didn't happen. So my mind was already in the mindset of exiting, like I had to exit route, but I wasn't sure where, wasn't sure how, what that looked like. So had he said that to me, all he had to do was say, Mike, I'm leaving.
Come on.
Come on with me, bro.
Go.
I honestly think I would have taken that trip to 20 minutes away, but just to see what Andre was able to do, but understand the type of coach that Jimmy Patos was. It's nothing against Gary Williams. Gary was a legendary coach.
Yeah.
Minds were different, right? And when you have a group of guys as a coach, you got to adjust your mindset with the players, not the players adjust with your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I just think at that time, Jimmy made the right decision and parting ways so that way he can build his own legacy, build his own team, his operation, his program. And he brought the right people on board. Charlie Bell was over there at that time. I mean, they had some goons who kind of get it done. I just think they just needed some more pieces.
Okay. TP best wing player you play with?
Yeah, that's a tough one, bro.
Give me one. Just give me one. I know it's a lot. I mean, you named a couple kill. You said Trent Forbes, Mark Reddit. Like, I mean, you could just say that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hear it later. Like, yo, really, bro? That's how you feel it? It's still over. They gonna be like, really? That's how you been feeling all these years?
Yeah.
Oh man, like I don't know what. I ain't gonna lie though, but my man ain't here. You know what I mean, Blake, man. I wish I'd have got with him, like had our connection a little earlier. You know what I mean? Like I caught each other towards the end. Like, you know what I mean? I just seen I seen him play in his younger years, but like I didn't have a chance to really rock out with him. And I can just say, if I had a chance to, I think he would have been one of the ones that, like he ran the floor like
he definitely did.
And then you can put it wherever. Back then, he was going to get it.
Yep.
He would have made it like real easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Real easy.
Yeah, rest in peace to the big homie. That's my guy.
Blake was a monster. Blake was
definitely was.
Blake was
absolutely. He was a pure athlete, man. That was an athlete, man.
Exactly.
How tall was Blake? What was he like?
Blake
6'?
about
6'7".
5'6". Yeah,
Oh.
he's about 6'5", 6'6".
Hmm.
He could have been 6'7". He's just skinny though. He's just long.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Play
Yeah,
with a crazy aggression. You know what I mean? Especially around the basket. No question about it, man.
oh man.
But
Was I
before you
about to
guys
say?
move forward a little bit, man, I kind of want to go back and touch on that topic we were talking about as far as, you know, in a sense, why is the city dead as far as hoop wise for the young guys?
Yeah, because I don't think we got to you.
You know, and everything TP said, I think 1,000%, and also accountability, man. We're not holding these kids accountable enough, right? There's no real loyalty because there's no accountability. And I think, you know, like you said, you got too many kids jumping ship, wanting to play what they want to play on this team, like you was talking about. But it's up to whoever's involved in these kids' lives to hold them accountable, right? To challenge them. That's not about playing with the best, it's about competing to get the best, right? So for me, like us growing up, for example, every time I heard about LeBron, I'm like, who is this dude? So now when I see him, now it's like he got to show me why he's LeBron. Mike got to show me why he's McGee. All these dudes got to show me why they're them, rather than me jumping ship and playing on their team. However, going back to the conversation you said before, I think if me and McGee did play on the same team, bro, it would have been headaches for the city, but that wasn't how it was built. My mindset wasn't built like that, like play with this man and kill the city. It's like, you know, everybody that's not on our team, that's that, you know what I'm saying, that's against us in a sense, and then rock out after. So it's accountability, man. We got to hold them accountable in every aspect of just life, period, bro. Not even just about basketball.
Yeah.
And I think we're lost. Like, you know, there's too many people lost in the fact that it's just basketball. It's more than just basketball. Right?
Here's the thing. Do you think, like anything, everything becomes a hustle?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even for refereeing, like there's guys that's refereeing that ain't never played the game in their life. There's people that are coaching these AAU kids getting checks that ain't really, you know what I mean? They really don't know the foundation of the game. It's just like,
that's what's messing it up, man.
Because Sammy knows me, that's my man. Shit, let me go ahead and give it to him. You know what I mean? You know, he know the game and everything, you know, but there was always somebody that can pull a little more out of these kids. And, you know, it's that not what you know, it's who you know. Like, from that, man, and like you said, make motherfuckers accountable.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot of tough luck growing up basketball from our basketball coaches. These guys nowadays, it's just like, you know what? I got to do what this kid wants, because if not, he's not going to rock on my team.
Yeah.
I think
man, believe me.
I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback. It depends on who. Cause shout out to my Kyrie. Shout out to my man Kyrie Rulick. Like I was at the Black Coaches Classic yesterday at Madison Park. It was a coaching clinic. So I had an opportunity to interview and sit down and talk with a lot of coaches. Shout out to the legendary Dennis Wilson, Charlie Titus, Larry Merritt. I interviewed Connor Moore from she's a Harvard head coach. So I think it depends on who is the guy running the programs nowadays. Because a lot of those guys I spoke to definitely were talking about accountability and holding them to, and they were saying how they would refrain from recruiting a certain kind of kid if they felt as though their parent was like gonna be a bit much, because that's what I heard also yesterday too, trending, where they were like, yo, nah, like, man, I'm watching the parents and how they are and how they be, and it's like, I love this kid, but I don't want him if his parent is being this way. That could have a big cause and effect on the program, and an expectation for thinking like, oh, you know, their kid should be playing this, that, and the third. Like, no. Let me just coach your kid, and like that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you a little bit of pushback on that. I talked to some coaches yesterday who were echoing some of these sentiments, because I was very curious on that, because to your point, you're right. Some of these kids feel super entitled, and you know, depending on what kind of coach they have, some are holding them accountable, some are not holding them accountable.
Absolutely. And I don't think it's all the coaches. I definitely don't think it's all the coaches. I think, you know, when you look at some of the talent, they're they're sometimes in the wrong hands because, like we're talking about, these coaches are not holding. Because it's more like the coaches are scared of the players rather than the players scared of the coach, right? In a sense, right? These coaches don't want to lose the players because of X, Y, and Z. Rather than, you know what I mean? It's about, again, when we talk about accountability, I think it's not just about sports. It's about overall in life as a young man, as a young woman, whoever you're teaching. It's about holding them accountable for being a young person first and growing into adulthood that makes everything else easy. For example, when I'm talking to the kids or I'm coaching them, I tell them anything can happen inside of sports, but it don't matter because at the end of the day, if you hurt yourself, right? And I'm a prime example. If you hurt yourself, what's next, right? At the end of the day, what you have to understand is life out there is bigger than basketball. So if you can manage the mental part of it, the mental struggles, the adversity that you're going to go through just in general in high school, and you can get ready for out there, sports becomes so much easier because now you're mentally equipped with the right things you need to be equipped for, right? You're ready for anything. Right. However, if you're just teaching these kids, okay, well, look, here's a crossover, here's a jump shot, here's my, here's the foundation of the sponsors that I got these shoes, we got this tournament to go to. You're not really teaching these kids the basic fundamentals of growth, of progress outside of sports that will eventually enhance your athleticism, enhance your sports all the way around. You feel what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And I feel it's not all coaches. I think there are some dope coaches out there that's doing a great job with these kids, being mentors for these kids, and being the basketball coach, mentor first, basketball after. Because more mentors, man, more mentors than basketball coaches.
Definitely. That's definitely that was another one of the sentiments that a lot of the coaches echo, because I asked, like, what do you guys do to like get your team together, like outside of basketball? What are you doing to bond them and get them together, like taking them to
camaraderie,
team dinners or things like that? So I just want to ask both of you guys, like, who were some of your like favorite coaches that you played for that like really had an impact on your life, like bigger than just the game of basketball? And it doesn't have to necessarily be. It could be your college coach, your hood coach, your
high school, whatever,
whichever one of them. You know what I mean? Because again, a lot of those guys on different levels, but wear the same hat. So where are we at with those?
Facts. Mine's hands down, man, was Alski and Rob Dixon. And my trainer. So at the time, we had a trainer, bro, who was a football guy, but he was the one who showed us hard work and dedication outside of the coach, outside of Dixon and Grady McClinton. He was a monster, bro. I mean, he did a lot of stuff outside of training. We would go to eat together. We would go and we would take a trip out to Harvard, run the stairs. But we're doing these things together. Me, B.O., Jamal Dixon. It was a group of us, right? So we were able to find that camaraderie and understand our weaknesses and our strengths just by bonding outside of that. We did everything together, right? And I think that's a lost cause now. Or for me, it helps with the teams because I think, like we said, it builds a different type of chemistry outside of sports, right? It builds a different relationship outside of sports. Now you can see that this kid like the same colors you, or y'all might like the same type of food, or y'all might like the same type of girl. Now we got to have, what I mean? It's always something that's similar, even though y'all different. We find the similarities amongst each other, and we find the differences. We put in a big pot and we mix it up. Now we find with everybody's insecurities, securities, characteristics, whatever it is that you got bringing to the table, we're gonna put it in a big pot, our team pot, and then we're gonna mix it all together, and we're gonna figure out the best powerful solution with all the egos we got, all the characteristics, all the personalities. We're gonna figure out the best one that fits the team, and not what fits, that individual person.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Little. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. No, I didn't realize TP didn't go on that one yet.
Go ahead, TP.
Running back.
No, it was about who were some of your favorite like coaches who inspired you outside of, they were a good coach on the court, but they inspired you outside of the court. And
that role, like to go back, I would have to go the beginning. It would be Charlie DeLoach, Sherman, even T. Walker. Yeah, Sherm brought us from the bricks to the boys club, man. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
Mike. Yeah, he got us out the bricks, and then that boys club thing. But like you said though, I always looked up to Al Ski because when he was trying out for the league as a kid,
Yeah.
I used to watch him. I'm on a city bus on my way to school, and I would see this dude running next to the bus.
Mm-hmm.
He'll
That's
stop.
Evan.
And I'm talking about we leaving damn near Ashmont, and then we get down Dudley. He's standing there jogging with a sweatsuit on, like not a the
Yeah,
spacesuit
the
joint.
full sweatsuit. Yeah. That's ski. That's ski. For real. That was like an everyday thing.
Yo,
And
that's,
then
But not only
crazy,
Ski
bro.
was like that, but Duart was like that also, man.
Wow, didn't know that.
Listen, they really were. They were out there training every day. That's how they were.
Yeah.
and then that's where you get an understanding, like, and then when you see him play, like I've seen Al make about 15 jumpers in a row, like dudes taking layups,
Mm-hmm.
man on them. You know what I mean?
Word.
That's the work though.
Yeah.
You put the work in. That shit ain't luck. That's work.
No,
Nah, Ski-
absolutely.
Yeah, guys
Nah,
like
Ski-
that, and Ski's always been positive too. You know, he's always been on the positive note.
Definitely.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, he just hit me up and was like, "Bro, it's okay." He said, "I put it down at 53."
Mm.
I'm like, "Hey,
That's
ready,
crazy.
bro."
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Said, "Hey, ready." You know what I'm saying? I got a couple more because I ain't never had no problem with the wheels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just get this tune up. I got a couple more left. You know what I mean? I want to get one more and I can ride up out of there.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. Nah,
But
TP
even
definitely one of the guys I looked up to growing up. Definitely one of the guys I looked up to. For real.
yeah, like the game, like, you know, even watching, like, I don't know if you can relate, Mike. Like when you in tune with the game, like there's games, especially when they're meaningful games, like in the league, even if let's say the NBA championship, and you're watching that game, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't locked in to where you're seeing shit the ref see, like you locked in, I guarantee you by halftime you tired.
Yep.
And you ain't ran one lap.
Yep.
Just locked in, man. You seeing everything. You like, wow, that I didn't know this dude can do that. Like the kid was for the Spurs. Was it Wemby?
Wemby,
Yeah. Wemby, yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Wemby.
like I'm watching them few games preseason. I'm like, man. But I seen this one game. Like we well into the season now, and 3 of the Spurs are not starting. They're playing the Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say he was busting the Joker's ass in and out to where they had to try to set up like a boxing one on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the first time I really paid attention to this kid, and I was like, this kid can play.
He's gonna be something special, man.
When
I seen that motherfucker took that 3-point shot and then went and rebounded for a dunk, I said, man, he's gonna be a problem. like they built walls for Giannis. I'm like, this kid right here, like
Yeah, Giannis ain't shooting no threes though. Giannis is he's 2 steps and dunking on you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying he's sham guard. He did a sham guard on the Joker. Pulled it back, snatched, fade away. Like, wait a minute. He's 7-something.
But let me ask y'all something real quick. Where's he from? Where's he from?
France.
And he's from France, right?
Yeah, he's from Europe. They teach these guys these things at an early age, man. And I had the opportunity of playing over there for about 5.5 years, 6 years before I had my first knee injury.
Yeah.
The process that they go through to get these kids at a national level is nowhere near to what we're doing here in the States. Right. Because their mindset is different than ours. They're thinking about how do we build this guy from the bottom up and not take him from when he's here, right?
Yeah.
And try to add on and just let him go. They're building from the ground up projects, prospects that can hopefully come here and dominate. That's why you get a Wembley. That's why you got a Joker. That's why you got a Giannis, because of their schooling, how they teach these kids. It's about the fundamentals first. They're fundamentally training these kids from the age of 6 years old, bro.
Right.
They have basketball schools there where they're teaching these kids basketball drills, the basics, the bare minimum basic, and having them perfect that and adding on from there. Right? We're able to skip that a little bit because we are more athletic, right? We got
naturally
you know,
athletic.
You know what I'm saying? And we missing the basic athleticism. So if you take those same guys, those athletic dogs, and you feed them basics, that you'll get the same exact prospect that these dudes are sending over here to us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like Luka. I mean, when he first came in the league, he talked about how easy the NBA game was for him compared to what it was like when
because he was in the top Euro League, bro. In the Euro over there in Europe, everything is way more physical. It's way more.
So are we more behind now? So are we behind in the game that we created?
Well, if you look at, like you said, if you look at a Luka, right? He's not fast.
Nope.
He's not athletic.
Not
He's jumping
athletic.
off the ground.
He's not dunking on you.
He's a smart player. He's using his fundamentals. He knows space. He knows if I jab step this way and he drops back, all I need is this much space to get off. So I'm gonna go diagonally in the opposite direction, which forced this guy to now have to change his closeout.
Yeah.
Right. He's thinking like, and TP said it perfect. If you're not mentally thinking the game, thinking plays ahead, then you're not going to. It's going to be hard for you to be successful and last long in any type of league if you're not looking at it that way.
Right.
He's a big dude.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, Luka's like 6'8", something like that. He's like 6'8", and
but he's like 240 somewhere, and he's a big. He's
He's dropping that shoulder on your chest with the eagle, and now he's getting it off.
Yep.
There's nothing you could do. But look, they look at the little point guards, Tony Parker. What's the little that played with the? He had the little blonde streak in his head. I love him.
Schroeder.
Yeah.
Oh, Schroeder? Yeah. Schroeder.
Like, and you like, yo, and he's like, he been a pro since he was 16.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Same thing with Luka, which is why, again, when he came to the league, it was like he was ready for it because he was playing against grown men.
Yeah.
At like
early age.
You know what I mean? So have you guys at your
do you think hold on, man, do you think the reasoning for us not having our youth 15, 16 dipping into the league because now it's stopping money on the back end as far as schools go, preps, colleges, you know what I mean? Like stopping that well from overflowing?
Right.
Because it's basically illegal for them to even play until they're 19 or 20?
Yes.
To be considered a pro.
Wow.
Even if you got all the attributes in the world, you still can't be a pro unless you go overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. That's tough, man. That's a tough one because again, I think if a kid is that young and if he's that good, right, then I think you should obviously, allow him the opportunity. But not everybody's going to be, you can't offer the opportunity to everybody because then you send in everybody, then they're going to mess up how the things work, right? But I think if you look at, again, like you said, in Europe, man, I had a 16-year-old. Okay, the dude I was in Argentina, Facundo Campazzo. He was a basketball guard at Denver Nuggets. He was a 16-year-old dude at the time, but he was our backup for our 34-year-old point guard. He was 37 years old, but he was the backup, right?
Yeah.
So the way they condition these dudes, if we can condition our youth to be professionals at an earlier age, and not worry about anything else, you teach them the professional role, the professional, the aspects or anything that comes with that. You teach them what it takes to be a professional on and off the floor. I think we can get better results.
Okay.
But it also entails all those things we talked about prior, holding them accountable, right? talking about loyalty, all these different things. We got to make sure we instill in that when we're talking about professionalism in this arena, because it can go different ways. It can go two or three different ways, right? It can go, you know what I mean? It's too many avenues, too many different avenues for you to get there, but it's the right avenue that's going to make you stay there.
Yeah, Rich just makes a good point. I think our college NIL is changing that, but our culture is a big thing. We have a system from elementary to middle school to high school, then college. Yeah, definitely NIL is changing. Poof.
Oh, big time, man.
Doing so.
As it should.
Right.
As it should. Like, you know, these kids, man, they bringing millions to these schools.
Yeah.
And all they had to say is that we get education. Like, it still don't balance off. Well, charge me then. For every season I play for this university, I need $150,000. You know what I'm saying? Because how much is it a year for a university? What, 45,000, 60,000, all depending on where you go?
Yeah.
Like, make it make sense, man. Got these kids bringing, basically, the basketball team, especially if it's popping, is carrying the whole university.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean like you can't put 150 couple of, like, kids was hungry.
Yeah.
See, now if you come from a already shaky background, you know, mom's working hard just to keep the lights on. So you away at college, you can't call moms and be like, Mom, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
Then now, guess what, man? You walking by a dorm room door and it's open and you see a laptop.
You taking that?
Yo,
For real.
Word.
You know how many of our people coming up have stories of, I went and I robbed this and fucked up my whole college, whatever. Like, we got a lot. Like, you know, like, and it's all because, you know, the colleges are not paying these kids. They should. It should have been something for these for kids, athletes. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You're making millions on top of millions each year, and you can't sit there and make sure your athletes are properly housed and whatnot.
Right.
Like that's wild to me.
It's definitely changed.
Wild.
NIL has definitely changed all of that, boy.
But and at the same time, the NIL thing, I think, man, I have kind of like mixed emotions about it, because I think it is awesome for the athletes, right? Because they are getting paid for it, but then at the same time, they could be sending a mixed message to these kids, right? Because now you're giving them all this money, and some of them don't really feel like they got to work anymore, right? And okay, well, I'm not going to get this from this school. Maybe I'll go over here and get this amount anymore. Right now, we're talking about the whole loyalty thing. If you're not working for your shit, you shouldn't be obligated to get there. Understand? Right. But at the same time, as an athlete, yes, you're in college, your name, image, and likeness is being used all day, every day. So you deserve to get paid for it. But it's almost a slippery slope. You feel what I'm saying? Because you want to reward the athletes because they deserve it, but at the same time, are these kids still working to get more, or are they satisfied because this is now they're like, okay, well, I got these millions. This is what I was looking for at the next level. So do I really need the next level? Do I really need to do all this? Can I just, you know what I mean, keep just riding off this NIL and not really put in the work that's needed? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Propel you to the next level.
I mean,
and then another thing too. What about the bottom? You know, the 10th man. Does he have NIL?
Right.
Yeah. Good point.
That's why it's a lot that goes into this, man.
Good point.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there should be a stipend at least weekly for these kids, something. But you know, maybe that might be a little bit better instead of them getting all these millions and stuff. Like maybe a stipend, a little something that way, you know, a little paycheck, you know, here and there, $300 to get them by. I mean, you know, something like that. Maybe that might work better. But you know, we got the NIL now, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
just gonna have to deal with it.
As long as they can take care of their parents, I'm all for it.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to ask, do you think that, like, this is talking about NILs and colleges and all that stuff, do you think like it would be better if a lot of our local colleges, like the Northeasterns, the BUs, the Boston colleges, those different schools, if they recruited more locally versus like going outside of Boston, because we've had so much talent, like especially within like the past, 20
last couple of
years
years.
or so, in particular,
They
where
let
so
all
much
the talent
talent.
go.
You know what I mean? It all
They let
goes.
it
So
all go, bro.
do
They
you
let
think
it
that
all
helps
leave
or
our
hurt?
city, and they recruit all the way in the west from
Yeah,
Diego, California, bro. When you got all this talent in your backyard, so and it's sad, but I really don't even rock with any of the college teams in the city,
yeah,
Mm,
And that's what I
especially
you're
think
right.
the mindsets are too, as far as the
Fonte
athletes
and
and the
JD. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like, it makes you wonder, like, you know what I mean? There's nothing, there's no one from our city. You kidding me?
Yeah, I think Smooth said it best. When he was talking about if he had came up to one of these local schools, it would have just been too much of the hood at them schools. And I know me working at BU, I know they don't really want the hood at their school. They don't even advertise certain things, out because they don't want the hood coming there.
Right.
So it's so that it does suck, not having our kids there, but I do get it. They're trying to watch that makes you hope the crime doesn't happen up there and stuff of that nature because shit happens.
But it ain't always,
It
it's
happens
not
when your friends
always
come
us
up.
committing the crime, though. It ain't always us committing the crime.
yeah,
You
I
know what
mean,
I'm saying? It's just that stereotypical the way they, you know what I mean? Like, a
Yeah.
little young man was walking in the neighborhood the other day.
Mm.
right. Yeah,
They on his neck. Like, what you doing? Why you here? Man, come on.
it's tough. It's definitely tough because
No, it is.
again, can you imagine going to, going to BC and if we'd have been to watch Shabazz and Wayne, what I'm
Come
saying?
on,
Guys
bro.
like that. Like, I just think the revenue and stuff like that, what you're gonna get there from people coming in, supporting, buying the gear because of that. Like what Shabazz did for UConn. Again, imagine if that was BC
Incredible.
that he did that
Exactly.
for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how crazy that would be.
But it
Like
sucked. I had to drive all the way to Connecticut to see it. I could have just got the green line. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. No, for real.
He just out like Mike ended up in Maryland, bro. Like if there was even a coach that I think the players would trust in and he had a system, you know what I mean? Like, cause you got to think about it from a coach's point of view too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
say, you motherfuckers get cut or traded, we get fired. So
Yeah.
they trying to go in their mind what they think. Oh, this dude's the next thing, but it's always hype. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you see it in the paper. Oh, this dude right here is ill, woo, woo, woo. And then
Yeah.
when he's around a whole bunch of ill dudes, he's regular as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? He's out here killing. But now he's off at the school, and now everybody has that talent or higher.
Yeah.
You're not getting that pat on the back. Now you don't know how to be a dog because you've been pampered all your life.
Right.
Mm.
You can do this. Yeah, you killing in that. Yeah, they can nobody touch you. And then
So-
when you get put in that,
Yeah. Yeah. So
Word.
now that we're speaking about that, Mike. Well, actually, matter of fact, both of you guys were y'all recruited by any Massachusetts schools when y'all time was up?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think for me, I had that mindset. I didn't want to be in my own backyard, basically.
Mm.
right?
Because I know for me, I had BC. My option was BC, and I was leaning heavy on them. But I knew I was going to have half of my homeboys at my dorm room every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a sense, I kind of wanted to get away from that to see how everything would flow, but not be too far away. That's why I chose Maryland, which probably I could get some other school, but Maryland was 8 minutes away driving. You know what I mean? Family can hop on get in the car and drive up, drive down,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But it was hard to make that decision mainly because of that, right? I wanted to get away from my norm and kind of be
Right.
around something different,
Right.
but challenge
Right.
myself in a different mindset, right? In a different space.
Right. No, it's tough. It's
Yeah.
absolutely tough. It's absolutely it is.
Especially here, like my junior year, actually, I went to school in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I should have stayed, But I mean, I got letters from Clemson, North Carolina State, Wake. But I'm homesick,
Yeah.
saying I want to go back home. And then I
Mm.
get a call. My man's Boris is leaving Catholic Memorial. He's going back to Charlestown. Such and such is going there. All right, I'm coming home. We gonna ready to run through shit. But me not thinking, they still look at Charlestown like, you know what I mean? These city kids. We running through shit with like nothing. You know, this one coach from a small school up Vermont, he drove down and talked to me. And he was like, you know why I'm coming to see you? He was like, your coach ain't wrote one letter to send out. You know, Calvin Jones was on my team too.
Yeah.
And, you know, Cal, he had like that's the AAU was at the beginning. It was starting to, and he got a lot of looks just from being on that team. None of it came from Charlestown. All his looks came from when he was on the AAU circuit. But like he was like, you know, the coaches ain't sending out no letter. He just so happened. He said, my father's an avid Herald Globe reader. And he was like, bro, he sees your name. Like he would circle my name and was like, yo, you need to go see this kid. And he's like, Dad, man. And he came down and talked to me. That's how I knew. I was like, I fucked up. I should have stayed in North Carolina.
Wow.
Them boys down south, man, they get at it. But they got
get
all
at
year long to sit there and do it. Like, you know, it's
get
different
at
up here in the
it.
winter.
Yeah.
Sammy, when I say the experience was the best I ever had in my life, leaving Charlestown, bro, we couldn't even have spectators. JV was the only ones can watch our games. You know what I mean? Because always some shit. So I go here, it's 150, 200 people trying out for a 12-man roster.
Wow.
That's
Come on,
crazy.
man, let's go. Yeah. And I'm getting one of those. They laughed at me, Mike, because I signed the varsity slip.
Yeah.
Motivation. I got a spot, man. I loved it, man. Like every game sold out. Away game sold out. Like the competition was way, way heavier, way different. Yeah.
Oh,
and that's when I knew that they treated it like we had trainers, like everything was set up like a college. Like you really had a college experience in high school where they set up down there. Take before the game, ice baths afterwards. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's legit. That's solid.
This is Charlestown?
No, this is my junior year in North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina. I'm
came back for my senior year.
Okay.
Thinking I don't got better. I got better. Now I'm playing above the rim. Shit, I get our first game. There's 7 people in that motherfucker.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a crappy ride, man. We was putting up numbers, but no one's paying attention to the city, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying attention to the city. They don't want to deal with the city kids. Nope. Not knowing that all the city kids aren't bad kids, man. They just functioning in what they know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And like if you know my story, I have no regrets in life, but that one that I can't tell the story Mike's telling, like his college shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I don't regret that New Edition shit. You know what I mean? That wasn't for me. This ball thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's some shit I could say that's the only thing in my life I could say I regret. You know, it was a gift that I didn't take advantage of. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm always in the young guys' ears. You know what I mean? About choices. Some choices you make, you got to live with them. If you can't live with them, you got to have problems.
No, Smooth said the same thing. Smooth echoed the same. He echoed the same sentiments that you just did when we had him on here for the Point Guard show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He said the same exact thing. Same exact thing.
And I sitting there listening to Mike tell his story about, you know, dudes that was tough, that was getting the short end. Like you build bonds like that when you playing with guys, and especially you see something in a guy that you know, yeah, he's getting the short end of the stick. This dude can really play.
Yeah.
Maybe from different places. And that shit is real though. But like Smooth was that dude.
Smooth
Like
as
if
that.
no one doesn't know, Greg Simpson was like, this is one of my last ones. I'm at his game, right? And they're playing a team, and the coach says, Sammy, you got Greg. You sticking Smooth. And then when you come out the huddle, you go to Maine and be like, man, fuck that. You get Smooth. You literally, and they argue like, man, fuck that. You get him like on the court.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like he was gonna come, but his handles was so crazy at 100 miles an hour. And then hit somebody with a zip. That Madison squad, 82, 83, they was for real.
Yeah, that talking to Coach Wilson yesterday, he talked about, he said that was one of his, because I asked him to name his 3 favorite teams that he coached, and he said
that was his first year with Smooth.
He said that was his all-time favorite team that he coached. Smooth, Roscoe Patterson. I can't remember the other names, but it was loaded because some of the names he was telling me, I was like, yo, I've heard of these names before, and I was like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you coached a lot of talent. That's what, Tippett was a big man. Yep, he mentioned his name, but he said definitely that was his favorite squad that he coached while he was in Madison, and it was his first year that he coached him.
I'm gonna ask him too because he had my son too, and they all won. Yeah.
What year was he? What team was they on? What year?
Madison, I want to say 09, 10 when they had Spencer.
Yeah, he was with what's his name? With Raheem in him.
DC. He was
Raheem, Spencer.
Yeah, he was with Raheem.
He said
they was running through the city.
He said that was his second favorite team all time. He said the 09-010 team was his second favorite team all time that he coached.
Yeah,
I think they got a documentary out.
Yeah, that was like, and then just to see those little guys, they bonded. And like Spence took over the leader role, was like, bro, I can't do this without you, and you. And they respected him enough to work on what they needed to work on.
Right.
Yeah.
And they went on that ride, boy. They went on the ride. They lost at the Gardens.
Yep.
When they shouldn't have lost, man. They shouldn't have lost.
That's what Coach said, man. Man.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Well, guys, man, we're a little bit over the line, man. We kind of extended it tonight, man. You know what I mean? These stories were too good. These stories were too good to shut off. We didn't.
Nah, you're right.
Guys, off in the middle of the stories, they were too good. They were too good, man.
You know, we got to hook up, man. Get together and figure some things out, man. Where we can throw our heads together and put something together, man, so we can.
Now, Sean Williams inboxed me just now, like he wants to get on the show, man. So we gotta do this over.
Oh yeah, but see, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Sean was tough.
Yeah, Sean was a little young gunner with the little energy. Yeah, but I think that like the eras are different though, man. Like only thing I say like I hate what they did to the league was they made it too soft. To where like Luka can come say this shit is easy.
Yeah.
Because when Porzingis, what's his name that for he played for Sacramento, the center.
Sabonis.
When his dad came, right? His dad came in his mid-30s, so your knees already gone. Yeah. But he's killing. He's killing. Yeah. And this is when they can hand check and I'm saying that what if they got him young in today's kind of game?
Oh my God.
Yeah, he would have been a handful because he was giving Shaq a run for his money when at 34.
Yeah.
He would be Jokic before Jokic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a comparison.
I like about him. He passed better than Jokic, like behind
the
back.
Yeah.
He was tough, man. He definitely was.
Shit. Jokic, he drank beer all year. He's killing already. Every video I saw, he was drinking beer. I ain't seen him in one gym. I ain't seen him lift one weight, take not one shot.
But that's some people's culture, man. They'll have a shot of some espresso, and a nice cigarette right in the locker room right before the game, man. And the whole locker room smelled like cigarettes and espresso, bro. They were out there. I'm trying to figure it out when I was over there, bro. Like, how do y'all do this, man?
They used to it, man.
Word up.
This WNBA game, man.
Thank y'all for rocking out, man. I got New York. I'm going with New York. I want to see Sabrina Ionescu and them. And
this is it. This is the final game.
Yeah, I want to see them do it. I see them do it.
Yeah, I'll be down there next week to check. No, I'll be in North Carolina, but I'm gonna come down and hang out with y'all, man. Check it out.
Pull up 1 week, man. Guys, thank y'all for rocking out with us, man. We definitely got to do a part 2 of this wing stuff, man. We're gonna want to bring you guys back on, but appreciate y'all rocking out with us tonight, man.
Appreciate
much respect to y'all.
Yes. Peace.
So that wraps up this edition of Grove Hall.
Any hold on, little. Let's get to. We can at least do one thing.
Throw it in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the 3. Bang! Jaylen Brown knocks down the 3 to tie the game.
Yo, buzzer beater going on. Any parting shots you want to say, man? You know what I mean? You got
the biggest parting shot I want to give today is thank you, man, for taking that L today. That's the biggest parting shot that I have. Thank you for taking that L today. My Lakers came out victorious against them Warriors. And I know Joe gonna look at this and be like, okay, that's bulletin board material. That's my parting shot. Along with a very special happy birthday to, Zoe, Zoe Monster.
My niece Zoe.
So we got a parting shot from you, Mr. Main Topic.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. Good stuff to the Lakers today for taking advantage of capitalizing off of the mistakes and stuff we made. It had a playoff again. It's only 3 weeks into the season.
Definitely.
Some of these games have playoff feels already. Like regardless of who's there, everybody's out there competing. And yeah, listen, like I said, you've done a great job. With the additions that you've been making to get the Lakers really, to that next level. So good game. You got that now, but we're in the West, so we're gonna get.
The West is wild, man. The West is tough this year, man. You don't know. You don't know what to expect.
The West is crazy. So no, definitely expect nothing but tough games every week. Because again, like I was saying earlier, I mean, literally 13 out of the 12 you can say legit have a shot at the chip. You know what I mean? Like all healthy and bringing all their guys there because of talent.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. No, listen, no parting shots, but shout out to the league. Shout out to the Freddie McNeil League because it's gotten a lot better. And I definitely want to give a big shout out to the good brother Kari Rulick, the curator of the Black Coaches Classic, which was at Madison Park High School yesterday, and he allowed the Grove Hall podcast to be there front and center, getting interviews with. I mean, again, I got a chance to sit down with Coach Wilson and talk basketball, Coach Titus, Coach Larry Merritt, who said he wants to. He actually wants on the show. You know what I mean? So it was just an honor. I got a chance to talk to my man AD, Lamar Riddicks, the coach of Milton Academy, the coach from Bedford, Donald Moore, which was the Harvard coach, man. So
you was real busy.
And my man Boobie Jackson actually sat down. So I know I'm forgetting some people charging to my head. Not my heart. I got a chance to talk to some basketball with some really, really good people yesterday. So shout out to Kari because that's a really dope event that he does. And he said he wants us back every year. You know what I mean? We'll be a part of it. So we'll definitely be back.
What's up? And anybody else out there that want us to pull up, hey, hit us up.
Oh,
hit us up. We'll be there.
Listen, Dre Barboza, you already know we will be over there at King of the Court next summer.
RCC.
I got the table where we can do the interviews live right there while the games and stuff is going on. So we definitely gonna lock it like that. But
thank you again to all our guests. Thank you again to Kamani DJ Payne
for holding it down.
Pulling up.
Yep, absolutely. TP, Mike Jones. Thank y'all,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Appreciate you. You know what I mean, for pulling up and hollering at us, man. And it's another week. But next week is kind of anticipated. Next week is kind of anticipated. We'll see what happens.
You got the big dogs in the house.
Be a big man episode. So we're gonna see what that's gonna look like. Because Jamal Booth has been on a tear with just wait till I get on. So I can't wait. I can't even imagine what he's gonna say next week on the podcast. So tune in. Other than that, catch us next week. Grove Hall Podcast. Coach Maine.
Sam Little.
You already dig. You know what I mean? And we out. We'll see y'all next week.
Out of here.
Yes, sir.